Hi there, welcome back to ET. Now you're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena, a show where we're discussing all the top buzzers in today's trading session. So let's get back to all the buzzers then. And on the technicals, we are now joined by Rajesh Bhosle, who's a technical analyst at Angel One. And on the research side, we always have Ravinder with us. Rajesh, let me come to you first. You've picked out AB Capital for us. How is it looking on the charts? It's a downtick, over 1% downtick coming in today. But over the last 1 year, if you see, or if you see only the 2025 returns that it has given a return of about 60%. Do you expect this upside to continue? What are the charts suggesting?
Yeah, so today it's down by 1%, but overall, if we see the chart structure, it's continuously trading in a higher top, higher bottom formation. In fact, if we see this week's gains, it's more than 5%. If you see weekly and monthly chart, we are seeing a multi-time frame bullish breakout, and the stock has broken out from a 7 years long consolidation. So we are very strong bullish on this counter, and we expect the stock to move towards 330 to 340 in the near term. And on the lower side, there is a bullish gap left around 270 odd levels. So any kind of dip towards this levels is likely to get bought into. Buy on dip would be the advice for the near term targets of 330.
All right, moving on then to the next counter that is in focus, GMR Airports. GMR Airports board on Thursday approved a proposal to raise up to 5,000 crore rupees through issuance of securities. Besides that, the board of the company has approved setting up a wholly owned subsidiary as a special purpose vehicle to undertake the Cargo City project at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in the national capital. On the back of that, the GMR Airports is in focus today, is trading in the green with gains of more than 0.5%.
All right, then, that's GMR Airports. But let's also put the spotlight on Apollo Hospitals, which is in the spotlight today after 1.32% of its equity changed hands in 2 block deals. Now, according to the term sheet, the founders' pledged shares have now fallen to just 2% of the holdings. Earlier, the street was expecting promoters to sell about 1.25% stake worth 1,295 crores, with the deal price likely at 7,747 rupees per share. But as for the latest term sheet that we received this morning, 1.32% of equity has changed hands in 2 block deals. And as we can see, the stock is trading lower, currently about 0.1% loss coming in for Apollo Hotels.
All right, moving on then from Apollo Hospitals to the next counter, Ravinder, coming to you for Tata Rail. What is the news flow here? Why is Tata Rail in focus? Big order wins coming in.
Well, on the back of order win, Tata Rail is in focus. The company has announced a major order win from Garden Ridge Shipbuilding and Engineering, where Tata Rail System has secured a letter of intent of worth of rupees 467 crore for the construction of 2 research vessels and for offshore geological mapping, mineral exploration, including dredging and ocean environment monitoring and research. And this order is split into 2 components, with the value of the ship backed at 445 crore and additional to 22.25 crore towards GST, taking the total order size to 467 crore. So back of this order win, Tata Rail is in focus, and the stock is sitting with a gain of 0.5%.
All right, so Tata Rail buzzing on the back of that news flow and order wins. But moving on, let's also put the spotlight on Hindalco, which is buzzing in trade today after the company said that it will invest about $10 billion across global operations between FY25 and FY30. That's the word coming from the chairman, Kumar Mangalam Birla. He's told shareholders at the company's 66th annual general meeting yesterday that the company held. Now, of this, the metals major has already initiated projects worth 18,000 crore rupees in India in FY25 itself, which actually marks its highest annual capital expenditure in nearly a decade. The investments will cover the aluminium, copper and specialty alumina value chain, both in India and through its US subsidiary Novelis. So on the back of this investment announcement, the stock is buzzing in trade today. However, right now it's trading absolutely flat. About 0.02% of a downtake is what we are seeing as of now.
All right, moving on to the next counter. Rajesh, coming to you for Hindalco. Rajesh, what do you see on the charts for Hindalco? As far as the charts are concerned, Hindalco has been giving some decent moves over the past few days. Tell us, what do you see on the charts?
Yeah, so today it's trading flat with no major gains, but if we consider the weekly charts, yeah, it's almost posting 2% of gain. And in fact, if we see from the last year, October, this is likely to be the highest closing since last 1 year. So we are strongly bullish on this counter, strong rounding bottom breakout, and possibly the stock is headed towards its previous swing high of 760. On the downside, if we see, there are key averages placed on the downside. So 680 to 670 is likely to act as a strong support, and on the upside, 770 is what we are expecting in the near term.
All right, so that's Hindalco on the charts, but let's move on to the next counter, and that is the next counter is SJVN, that is in focus today. And the reason why this counter is in focus is because they have synchronized the first 660 megawatt unit of 1320 megawatt Buxar thermal project with the national grid, and the project is located in Bihar with a total investment of 13,756 crore rupees. On the back of this commissioning, SJVN is up and away 4.2% in trade.
All right, so that's SJVN trading about 2.5% higher as we speak. But coming to you, Rajesh, you've picked out Bharat Electronics for us. How are the charts looking for this one? You know, all the defense-related counters have been flagged when it comes to their valuations, and that's why short-term is... but what is your short-term view on these stocks? Do you think it's a good bet?
So from July swing highs of around 430, the stock has corrected now towards 375 odd levels. And this is a healthy correction. If we see multiple time frame analysis on RSI, monthly and weekly RSI are trading above 70, whereas daily RSI has corrected towards 40. So it's an indication, while the high time frame is strongly bullish, current downtrend or current correction is a buying opportunity. Along with that, if we see the charts, the prices are holding on to its 89 EMA, and on the options front, we are seeing that out of the money calls are unwinding in out of the money call options. So we are expecting short covering in the coming week. Possibly BEL can move towards the levels of 385 to 390, and on the downside we are seeing 365 to 370 as a strong base.
All right, so those are the levels to watch when it comes to Bharat Electronics. But let's move on and talk about NTPC and its green energy arm. That's NTPC Green as well. They're both buzzing in trade today. Now, NTPC Green, the renewable arm that has successfully commissioned 49 megawatts at its Khavra solar project in Gujarat, which is part of a 450 megawatt hybrid project. That's the reason why NTPC Green is in focus, trading about 0.2% higher. On the other hand, we have NTPC, which is also in the spotlight after the company's chairman Gurdeep Singh announced plans to start Unit 1 of its Rajasthan nuclear project by 2031. So some important commentary coming there. This comment was made at the Bloomberg New Energy Finance Summit in New Delhi, and hence highlighting the NTPC's green energy push. However, the stock is not reacting all that positively, currently trading about 0.2% lower.
All right, so that's NTPC in focus. But moving on to Aircon, again a name from the railway pack that has won an order win. Take us through this, the details of this, Rabinder.
Well, yes, Aircon has been awarded with LOA for the project floated by Meghalaya Infrastructure Development and Finance Corporation Limited, Shillong, Meghalaya, and the cost of the order is 510 crore. And the order is for the construction of Eklavya Model Residential School at 8 different locations in the state of Meghalaya on design, engineering and procurement and construction basis package 2. And the order is executed within 36 months. So back of this order win, Aircon International is in focus, and the stock is holding a gain of 1%.
All right, so that's Aircon International holding up gains of about 1%. But moving on, the leaders of tomorrow season 13 premiered this month with the theme Agility, Ambition and Ascent, inspiring India's entrepreneurs to navigate uncertainty with speed, resilience and vision. The season opened with an exclusive interview with V. Vaidyanathan, who's the MD and CEO IDFC First Bank, followed by iconic voices such as Sanjeev Sanyal, V. Tyagarajan and among others. We also heard Shobana Kamne, who was one of the speakers. Now, marking the launch, the first Springboard event takes place in Mumbai today, and it is going to happen 6 p.m. onwards on the theme Mumbai, Purpose, Progress and Prosperity. Let's take a look.
SMEs. In the heart of India's financial capital, social shifts and tech disruption are rewriting the rules for MSMEs. From the future of finance to bold strides in innovation, the city of prosperity is reimagining progress through purpose. Join bold thinkers, visionary leaders and emerging change makers at the first springboard of Season 13 in Mumbai. IDFC First Bank presents ET Now Leaders of Tomorrow Mumbai Springboard, powered by Tata Tele Business Services, exclusively on ET Now.
Presented by IDFC First Bank, always you first. Powered by Tata Tele Business Services, your trusted partner for smart digital solutions.
And well, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the short break. Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we're taking you through all the top buzzers. And moving on to the telecom sector, Vodafone Idea is on a tear today. A media report that suggested the AGR dues might be slashed soon. For the details, my colleague Varun Dubey is joining us.
Well, a positive buzz coming in for Vodafone Idea and Industars in the day's trade. Now, most importantly, media reports are suggesting that the PMO would be likely to take a call on Department of Telecom's proposal. Now, this proposal is expected to give multiple relief options going ahead for Vodafone Idea. The company itself has been struggling, and roughly 83,000 crores of AGR dues that's expected to come from the government. And however, if there is a positive reaction to Industar also, because Vodafone Idea needs to pay the dues to Industar also. So this will augur well for both the companies. Now, the company has stated that they may not be able to survive beyond a year by just taking loans from the PSU segment. Now, let's look at the numbers, what they actually reflect, and the numbers are still very weak, but sequentially you could see there is an up move coming in, but the government debt levels are still on the higher side and the net losses are still a very big figure. Now, what are the key other industry triggers which we have been noticing over the last 3 to 4 odd days? We are seeing the entire industry is actually moving towards value rather than volume. That means the lower data packs are actually getting substituted and higher data packs are coming in. Now, expansion in 5G circles is also something which Vodafone Idea is doing, and interestingly, the higher ARPU is expected to kick in over the next 6 odd months, and analysts are estimating that this range could go between 8 to 12 odd%. The ARPU levels for the first quarter of FY26, if you look at it, they have been increasing. For Jio, it's almost 209, Bharti Airtel 250, and even for Vodafone Idea, it stands at 165.
All right, thank you so much, Sharath, for taking us through all those details. In fact, if we look at the stock, it's trading more than 9% higher. But let's shift focus back to some other buzzers then. Rajesh, let me come to you now. You've picked out Godrej Consumer for us. What are the charts looking like? In the past month at least, the trade has been, Godrej Consumer has been range bound. It's trading about 1% higher right now. But do you think we are in for a next leg of rally?
Yeah, so rightly pointed out, since May we are seeing that the stock is trading in a symmetrical triangle, and in the last week we saw that prices formed a higher bottom on a 200 DMA. So we are expecting from prices are bouncing from the lower end, and it's likely to head towards the higher end. Possibly in the coming week the stock is poised for a move towards 1300. The reason being the RSI has crossed its previous swing high, and also it's 60 level. So expecting a positive momentum possibly towards 1300, and on the downside if we see 89 EMA around 1200 is likely to act as a support.
All right, moving on then to the next counter, that is D-Mart or Avenue Supermarts, that is in focus today, and it is coming into focus on the back of the fact that they have opened up a new store at Ganga Shahar Road in Bikaner, Rajasthan, and the total number of stores as of date now stands at 429. On the back of this, Avenue Supermarts is in focus today, has picked up sharply from the day's lowest point, is trading in the green with gains of 0.1% right now.
All right, so that's Avenue Supermarts trading in the green as we speak on the back of that news flow. But moving on, Rajesh, let me come to you. You've picked out M&M for us from the auto pack. How are the charts looking for this one? In fact, if we take a look at how it has performed in the past 6 months, it has given a return of more than 25%. Do you think that is likely to continue going forward in the rest of the year as well?
Yeah, so if we see from the October 24, not much has happened. I mean, last 1 year has been very consolidation. But in the last 1 month, the stock has seen a sharp rally and a 1 year breakout. Last week there was a strong traction, and then this week it has been a consolidation phase. But it's still holding on to its bullish gap somewhere around 33.30, forming a Tasugi gap. And on the daily chart, we are seeing a flat pattern breakout. So we expect after a mild consolidation, prices are likely to continue up move in the coming week. Possibly 3500 is what we are expecting on the monthly expiry, and any kind of dip towards its bullish gap around 3300 is likely to act as a buying opportunity.
All right, that's M&M on the charts, Rajesh. But moving on to Rabinder, Edelweiss Financial Services is what you picked out for us. Tell us what's the news flow here.
Well, as Edelweiss is in focus, where Edelweiss Services has announced a strategic investment by Westbridge Capital in Edelweiss Asset Management for a 15% stake sale, and the acquisition is consideration for of rupees 450 crore, and the current transaction values the business at 57 times PE on FY25 PAT of rupees 53 crore, which align with industry benchmark of 30 to 60 times. So back of this, Edelweiss is in focus, but the investor has not taken this on a positive note on some valuation concern, and the stock is down approx 2%.
All right, so that's Edelweiss Finance trading, in the red. But let's shift focus to Dixon Tech then. Now this stock is in focus after Motilal Oswal has actually reiterated a buy call on the stock and also raised its target price, which is very important, to 22,300 rupees. So that's the target price, a huge uptick there. In fact, the brokerage remains very positive on Dixon. Why? Because of a strong market leadership, joint ventures, and also acquisitions that ensure long-term volume growth for the company. That's the word coming from the brokerage. In fact, even as competition is intensifying, Dixon, according to MOSL, retains the first mover advantage with smartphone market share seen rising from 19% in FY25 to nearly 40% in FY27. Now, MOSL, it expects Dixon to deliver robust revenue, EBITDA and profit CAGR of 36%, 41% and 46% respectively through FY25 to 28, and this would be supported by steady margin expansion. That's the word coming from the brokerage. In fact, the stock is trading more than 1% higher as we speak.
All right, with that, we're completely timed out on this edition. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us, to both our guests. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. Kanishka and I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Closing trades is coming up next.